Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving deep into the magic of thinking big.
Yeah, this book is a classic for a reason.
You shared this one with me because you're looking to, well, make some serious moves in your life, right? And this book really seems to offer a blueprint for that.
What's interesting is how it goes beyond those typical, external success formulas. It's all about the power of our mindset.
Okay, so our mindset is the key.
Really, our beliefs, they are the foundation. Everything we achieve starts there.
So Schwartz is saying belief precedes action, meaning we actually act based on what we believe about ourselves.
Exactly, even about our limitations. Think about a time you achieved something you initially doubted you could do. Did your belief in yourself grow as you took action?
Oh, definitely.
That's the magic. You can actually build that belief by taking those first steps, even if they're a little scary.
So if you believe you can't climb high, you're never even going to look for the stairs.
Right. It's like how believing in space travel was crucial for actually getting to space.
I like that analogy.
Belief is the fuel for any kind of success.
Okay, so that brings up a big question then. What do you believe about yourself? What are you capable of achieving? What's your thermostat setting?
Good point.
Thermostat setting. Okay, now I'm really intrigued.
Well, Schwartz uses that metaphor, the thermostat, to describe the level of success we believe we can actually reach.
So we all have this sort of mental thermostat.
We do, and it's set at a certain level, right? If it's set low, you might unconsciously sabotage yourself, settle for less than what you could actually achieve.
Oh, wow. That makes me think of all those times I held myself back because I didn't really believe I could succeed. Like I was setting my own limits without even realizing it.
And that brings us to one of the biggest things Schwartz talks about, excusitis.
Excusitis. That sounds almost like a medical condition.
Well, it might as well be. He says it's way more than just a funny word. It's a real barrier to success.
We all have excuses, right? Reasons we can't do this or that.
Sure, but excusitis, it's not about denying the challenges, it's about how we think about them.
Okay. What's your favorite excuse? That go-to reason you can't go after a dream or tackle something tough.
Oh, that's a good one.
Recognizing it is, I think, the first step to breaking free.
Precisely. And Schwartz goes into all these common types of excusitis, health, intelligence, age, luck. And his examples, they're really eye-opening.
Give me an example.
Well, he talks about this man convinced he had a bad heart, wouldn't see a specialist, wouldn't even travel, lived in fear, basically.
I don't know.
Turns out, no heart problem at all. Just pure fear masking itself as this health excuse.
Wow. I mean, that's a relief in a way, but also kind of a wake-up call, right? It's so easy for fear to disguise itself as this very legitimate reason to just avoid things.
Absolutely. Another common one is intelligence. People thinking, oh, I'm not smart enough to do this. And there's this great anecdote Schwartz shares about Henry Ford.
Oh, I love Henry Ford stories.
So these senators are grilling him, thinking he lacks general knowledge. Ford gets frustrated and says, I don't know the answers to your questions, but I could find a man in 5 minutes who does.
Meaning,
You don't have to be an encyclopedia.
focus on what you're good at.
Exactly. Identify where you have gaps and then, build that network. People who excel where you don't. It's like building a winning team inside your own life.
Now, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I've always been in awe of people who are just like incredibly knowledgeable. But now I'm thinking real success is knowing how to access the right information when you need it.
That's a much better approach.
So we've got health, we've got intelligence. What about age? That one gets to me sometimes, that feeling of like, it's too late.
Oh, age is a big one. We've all felt that. But Schwartz tackles it head on with some pretty inspiring stories.
Oh, like what?
He talks about this guy decides to become a minister at age 45, even with 3 little kids and, not a ton of money.
Wow.
And then there's Bill. Enrolls in college at 51, ends up chairing the economics department at this prestigious school by his late 50s.
So it really is never too late, huh?
It's about shifting your perspective. Instead of I can't because, it's how can I?
Okay, that's powerful. It's the difference between being trapped by excusitis and actually overcoming it.
Exactly.
We've done health, we've done intelligence, age. What about luck? Isn't that a legitimate factor in success sometimes?
Luck. That's a big one. People love to blame their failures on bad luck or say someone else was just lucky.
Right. It's so easy to say, oh, well, they were just lucky. But I have a feeling Schwartz has something to say about that.
He does. There's this story about John, a salesman who consistently brings in huge orders. His colleagues are all like, oh, John's so lucky. But the truth is,
When he works his tail off.
He's been building those relationships, working those accounts for months, sometimes years. What looks like luck.
Is actually preparation meeting opportunity.
You got it.
So it's not about sitting around waiting for that lucky break. It's about creating those opportunities and then being ready when they come along.
And that's a key takeaway.
Take ownership of your success. Learn from those failures. And don't fall into that trap of blaming or praising luck.
Exactly. So we've talked about those excuses, the things that hold us back. Now let's talk about building confidence, like unshakable confidence.
I am all ears. Because confidence, sometimes it feels like this elusive thing, especially when you're trying to really make big changes in your life.
Schwartz offers a really powerful antidote to that fear.
Oh,
Action.
wait, so you're telling me I should just jump into the deep end and not even think twice? That seems, I don't know, a little reckless.
Not exactly. He gives this analogy. Think of jumping off a high dive.
Okay, yeah.
It's the anticipation, the mental buildup. That's what's truly terrifying.
Right.
But once you take that leap, the fear vanishes.
And it's the same with so many things, isn't it?
Exactly.
I am a champion procrastinator, and I've noticed the longer I put something off, the bigger it gets in my head. But once I actually start, the fear, it starts to fade away.
And remember, action doesn't have to be this huge, sweeping gesture.
Right.
It can start with small, deliberate steps.
Just moving towards your goal.
And each action you take, it chips away at that fear, strengthens your confidence.
Building momentum. Each small win, it fuels the next one.
Okay, so now what about those negative thoughts that tend to creep in?
Oh, those are the worst. They can really derail you.
So how do we manage those?
Do you have any strategies for dealing with them?
Schwartz introduces this idea, your memory is a bank.
Okay, I like where this is going.
So you can actually choose what you deposit and withdraw, so to speak.
So instead of dwelling on past failures or those cringy moments.
Exactly. You consciously choose to deposit positive memories, affirmations, things that lift you up. Think of 3 positive memories, write them down,
Okay.
really visualize them, and next time you're feeling down, withdraw them.
Like a mental savings account of positivity. I love that.
It's true, right? We tend to withdraw the thoughts that we deposit most frequently.
So if we're constantly feeding negativity into our minds.
But that's what's going to come out when we hit a roadblock.
Makes sense.
Schwartz actually talks about a psychologist who used this technique with patients battling depression.
Interesting.
He trained them to deliberately withdraw those happy memories, the positive stuff, the moments of achievement, and it helped them shift their mental state.
So we really do have more control over our thoughts than we think.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about some more practical tools for building confidence. Schwartz has this great line, act confident to be confident.
Okay, I love actionable advice. What does that look like in real life?
He says, sit at the front, make eye contact, speak up, even just smiling more.
Those seem like such little things, but
That can make a big difference.
I used to be terrified of public speaking, but I forced myself to volunteer to present, sit at the front of the room, really look at people. And, the more I did it, the less scary it became.
You were faking it till you made it.
Exactly. But with confidence.
And a smile, that can make a huge difference. Disarms people, projects confidence, makes you feel better.
So smile more. Got it.
Yeah.
What else?
Okay, this one might sound a little weird at first. Schwartz talks about the importance of thinking right towards others.
Hold on. Thinking right. That sounds a bit, I don't know, manipulative. Like I'm trying to trick people into liking me.
He's not talking about being fake or insincere, okay? It's about approaching people with genuine respect, assuming the best about them.
Oh, okay. So cultivating a positive and supportive mindset, both towards myself and other people.
Now you're getting it. And this is actually really important for success. Think about it. People are drawn to those they like and respect.
Those are the people we want to support, work with, follow.
Right. Essential for building relationships, which is key for leadership in any area.
He even tells this story about a guy applying for a job. What made him stand out wasn't begging for the position, but he had this self-respect and asked really insightful questions. And the employer was so impressed, he offered him the job on the spot.
See, confidence and respect, they can attract success. And speaking of respect, Schwartz stresses this idea of, he calls it conversation generosity.
Conversation generosity. I've never heard that before.
He observed that big people, successful people, they listen more than they talk.
Interesting.
They're genuinely interested in others. They create that space for people to share their thoughts and ideas.
That's such a good reminder, especially these days when it feels like everyone's just trying to be the loudest voice in the room. True leadership is about listening, understanding, letting others shine. I'm totally guilty of not listening enough sometimes. I'm going to try to practice conversation generosity.
I love that.
So what else?
Last but not least, Schwartz encourages us to, he says, go first class.
Right, first class. Are we talking private jets and fancy hotels now? My budget doesn't quite allow for that.
No, no, no. He's not talking about being snotty or anything like that. It's about surrounding yourself with quality, with excellence in every part of your life.
Okay, so not about spending a ton of money, but about being, I don't know, more discerning. Choosing things that are well made, that add real value to your life.
Exactly. I had this friend, used to be super frugal, always went for the cheapest option, restaurants, clothes, travel, everything.
I can relate to that.
Then she decided, okay, I'm going to try some higher quality experiences, and it totally changed her perspective.
Like what?
Well, she discovered the joy of a truly well-made meal, the confidence boost from wearing clothes that fit well, that felt good, the whole immersive experience of a beautiful hotel.
It's about treating yourself with respect, recognizing you deserve good things.
Exactly, and it applies to everything, from the books we read to the goals we set for ourselves.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the magic of thinking big, what's the biggest takeaway for you?
You know, it's that emphasis on success isn't about being Superman. You don't need these extraordinary talents.
Right.
It's about developing those right thinking habits, that positive, proactive mindset, and then taking action consistently.
That's what makes this book so empowering, I think. It gives us tools, things we can actually start using today to create the life we want. And it all goes back to our beliefs.
Absolutely. So I want you, the listener, to really think about the things we've talked about. Which idea really resonated with you?
Yeah. What's the one thing?
The one thing you can start doing differently, like today, to think bigger, to achieve more.
Maybe it's identifying that excusitis that's been holding you back.
Could be.
Or maybe it's practicing that conversation generosity. Really listening to people, showing that genuine interest.
That's a good one.
Or maybe, hey, just making an effort to smile more. Spread some good vibes.
Whatever it is, take that first step, that first action. Belief fuels action, and action strengthens belief. It's this awesome cycle that can really get you going.
So go out there, think big, act boldly, create the life you want.
And you don't have to do it alone.
Right. Build that network, find mentors, surround yourself with people who get it, who believe in you.
And for more content like this, head over to our channel, Pages and Perspectives. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for updates. Thank you for joining us.